Apologies for some technical errors. We are just
We were young, happy, enthusiastic, optimistic. The world before us, out for the taking. Here is Steve, 24, the electrical engineer, always smiling, the dreamer, the encourager. Maiwa, 26, mechanical engineer, the dreamer, the big dreamer, the senior of them all. Yeah, that was me. And here's Shola, 22, the code developer, the happy-go-lucky fellow, and the foodie. Yeah. We were the three broke, swagless friends living together in a room. We were nothing, very nothing. And, we just loved ourselves the way we were.
There's a fire lighting my heart, reaching out inspiration, bring me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and tell me out and how they achieve there. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching out inspiration, bring me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and tell me out and how they achieve here. There's a fire, I in my heart, reaching out inspiration, bring me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and tell me out and how they achieve here.
Every night, I would sit with our plan. It was like that with me. And I would always picturize us living our dreams. We had a vision to solve the waste problem in Lagos in 10 years. While we were in school, we designed a low-cost recycling plant. We were going to make money recycling waste and selling off materials. I had designed the mechanics, Steve had designed the electronics, and Shola already had plans for the software. During our service year, we put together money and registered our company. All that was left was raising capital. We knew investors were difficult to come by, so our plan was to get jobs and save money towards the project while we still sourced for investors. By our calculations, it would take us about 2 years. We considered that a win-win situation. Well, the applications and the interviews started. It was not as though we were expecting jobs on our first days of interviews. We've been hearing the news. We knew jobs were scarce and all that. But we were brilliant folks. So we knew one day we would surely get the job. Hakuna Matata. But every day, we came back just as we left. Well, except that we had less money. No prospective jobs yet, but we still had our dreams. You know, when you're looking forward to something, there's a way it energizes you, it spurs you, it keeps you moving. Well, That's how we felt. We were energized, still optimistic, very optimistic. The situation couldn't just weigh us down. And we were not ready to give up. Not anytime soon. Life continued for us as bachelors, young bachelors. We're still our usual self. Nothing had really changed. It's the same cycle every day. For the next year, for the next year, for the next year. We're in ecstasy. Things are not going according to plan. Things are not going according to plan. At that moment, Shola lost it. He had had enough.
I give up, guys. I give up. It's difficult to stay sane in this condition. I know you do not expect this from me, but I'm sorry. Man has to leave. Man has to leave. Enough of chasing shadows in the name of pursuing dreams. Sorry. I'm done, guys. I'm done. I believe in you guys. I can't take it.
Shola resorted to internet fraud. He bailed on us. Steve and I had to borrow money to move into a smaller room to save costs. It wasn't exactly palatable, but it was a new step. Shola would have said it signified a new start. We hoped so. You know, there were times that I just looked at that guy with so much adoration. Steve, how does he manage to do it? To keep that smile on, even when the world around him is up in flames. It will be fine, he will always say. Just a look. Everything will do. Really, it will help to be Steve at times like this. But the truth is, Steve is just more Steve than I am. Steve's uncle in the US sent for him. He will go start a life abroad. After all, not like there was anything for him here. And I was a brilliant child. I was sure of one thing. Steve was going to succeed. I lost the last piece of me that day. I was 32. No friend, no money, and a dead dream. I gave up. I swear I was done. But something Steve said kept ringing in my head. It wasn't that we failed. We never just really wanted it badly. So I saw a need to re-strategize. I saw I needed to think outside the box we had created. That was the problem. We never saw outside the box we created. So I went back to our foundation. I looked at how we started. I knew I had to see things from a different angle. I had to see things in a different light. There just had to be a way out. I had to find out a way out. At the end, I got an idea. I betted an idea. It was time to start again. I just had to be hopeful it would work this time. This was my idea. I created a platform for people to sell their waste metal. And now in turn, sold these items to recycling companies. So people gave away their metal waste in exchange for money. And for the first time, I felt that I was doing something towards my dream. It was a little start, a very small start. I piloted with metal scavengers. I learned the business, I learned the trade, I dedicated myself to getting every knowledge it could offer. This was way below what we had planned. But I felt I had started. I could see the future ahead, and the future smiled at me. I knew every day was an opportunity to take a step towards my goal. I dedicated myself to this. I was excited about this. It seemed dirty at first, but man, the joy was really inside of me. Looking back now, I can say, it's not that we failed. We probably never needed it badly enough. Badly enough to ask what was wrong. Badly enough to try again. Badly enough to push through. Badly enough to try again. Badly enough to ask why.
I have been inspired, Mr. Maiwa. But, what about Shola?
Reaching out invocation, bring me out
the judges on their thoughts of that compelling short film and the first in the exhibition.
60 seconds.
Okay, so who made it? The Jasper channel. Guys, well done. Well done. Sit please. It's not a very conventional style of filmmaking. I want to, like, jumping out there and, trying to make most of your scenes one shots. Kudos for going in. Of course, putting everything within one, I saw a production angle there where you try to keep everything in one room till the end. And two rooms, because they end up changing rooms. I actually, there's a filmmaker that has that kind of vibe going on. And you'll say it's experimental filmmaking, but it's not. But there's a style to it. And the story took me forward, I think towards the end is when it started to come together, because it was mostly like a poem. It was like telling a visual poem. Now the challenge with that was like it was missing the plot. And I mean that with every due respect to your craft. It wasn't moving forward because it dwelt a lot on the suffering, and there was a lot more of telling than showing. So with the narration being the only thing we could use to move forward in the story. I like the narration, but I just needed to see stuff being done. The narration wasn't telling us what to look out for. All in all, towards the end, I saw it come together as a story of sticking to your guns, so to speak, even after you've gone through the doldrums and all that. So it picked up for me really towards the end. The middle was probably the place I had a challenge because we didn't see much movement from scene one in the middle. But again, guys, well done. There was motion, you had your characters defined, and I like the fact that it resolved in line with what the objective in the co-creation was. Well done.
Thank you so much, Ron.
So I'm going to go the other way around. I'll praise you afterwards. So I'll start with the bad part. So starting with the story itself, I agree with Tolu as regards the plot. It took quite a bit for it to pick up. So I was there struggling to, like, okay, where are we going from here? What's happening? So that took quite a bit. The pace was very slow, and we were not here to judge or we're not here to watch. You could very easily lose your audience, while they're waiting for this story to start or for it to pick up. Another thing I found missing was heightening the stakes and conflict earlier on in the story. All of this only happened towards the end, which is like where everything came together. There was no, real. I wanted to feel for them. Yes, you were telling me they were suffering, but I felt like in better ways you could have done that. You could have heightened the stake. For instance, I asked myself, how do they pay for those spaces they live in? The first one they lived in, how do they pay for it? They haven't had jobs for years, according to the story. And then they moved to another apartment. How do they pay for the second apartment? Yeah. And then, it would have been nice if we saw some pressure, like maybe landlord, coming to harass them for rent, or just something that becomes like a ticking clock, that is looming over them. Those are the kind of elements that make stories exciting and interesting, and you keep your audience glued to want to see how they overcome this. Really, within the film of the youth, there needs to be a central question. What is the central question in this film? What is their goal? Right? They're trying to get jobs. Fine. But we have now come to, you brought us round to one person and identified him as the protagonist. And then we're following his story. I like that his story picked up at the end. And it was such a refreshing relief when we went outside. Like, I actually smiled, like, thank goodness. We're out of the dreary room, it was claustrophobic. But while we're saying that, that could also be a dramatic element. That could also, it wasn't used well. Because you could have also used that for us to feel what these guys are feeling, like what their lives are like. So you can actually have intentionally made that claustrophobic and help us empathize with them. So the problem was just in the storytelling. The narrative was too long. It was too repetitive. You could have said it in fewer words, your message, what you were trying to say. And the cinematography, yes, it was experimental and well done with that, but also it wasn't very motivated. Yeah. So yeah, the style was all over there. I'm personally not a great fan of stylistic filmmaking. I'm a fan of story-led filmmaking. How does the story want to be told? How do I make this film in the best way possible that tells the audience what I'm trying to say? So I didn't find a reason for the style of the cinematography beyond probably showing us that you could do it. And that was great too. So for experimental filmmaking, you get applause. But for motivation, for your choice of shots or your visual style, and one more thing I wanted to talk about. Yes, set design and attention to details. All of those spaces were freshly painted. The blue was perfectly blue. The yellow one was, okay, maybe the yellow one is a new apartment. So maybe miraculously they found money somewhere to paint the apartment. But the blue one, for such a lived-in place, and as the years went on, like you said, from year to year, it remained the same color. Their pin-ups on the wall were so crisp and new. Sellotape was new, nothing frayed. The mattress had nylon on it, showing that it was new. So those are little details that matter in telling your story, because it's a movie. It's not a radio drama. So we're not just listening, we are watching. So it's a visual piece. Every element, the costumes, the sets, the detailing within the sets, all of those things are important. Yeah?
Thank you so much.
All right. She has produced me once. Trust me. Even I get notes. Really, really long notes. But I remember in one of our classes we talked about the fact that a short film is say what you want to say, kill them there, impact it, see what you want to say, shoki love, that's what you want to say. I feel like we could have cut maybe half of that length would have told the story. That's what I think. And then you guys we had a lot of montages. I wish that there are so many techniques that you could have used. You could have used your dissolves, you could have used, I saw opportunities for transitions, for deep to black, that you would have just done easy peasy, that you didn't take it. But in all, I would say something. I love experimental filmmaking, but learning from her, you see, there's a world in the head of the director. There's a thing that you think interests you as a person, but there's also your audience that you have to reach out to. Those are two different things. So some things look very nice and very artistic because you are the director, because you are the production person. So you would enjoy it. And they also want to enjoy it. They just want to be entertained and hear what you have to say. So moving forward, we all grow. When you are making your films, you also have to consider your audience. I'm not going to repeat what they said because it's really spot on and very accurate. I love the graphics. I wish you could have done a little more, but I like the way you introduced your characters. You did that fast, so that way we know our characters real quick and we can move to the next, line in the dramatic structure. So, and then the voiceovers. The voiceovers are so important. I can't tell you how it was, because you are taking us through a journey, and I feel like the voiceover would have helped a little more if it was a little more deliberate. Even in the acting, I felt that at some point in time, some of the things the voiceover said did not match what was the face of the character, you know. But in all, see, the step improvement. You should have seen my first. She saw my first short film. It was horrible. It's like you could try it. It was horrible. So it is a step in progress. But moving forward, try to cut this thing, cut it again. In fact, just make sure that you make it a little tighter, and you'll have a good production. And also, there's something called mise-en-scène. It's some people think it's art direction. It's not art direction. It's how the whole thing comes together on the screen for the audience to see. So a lot of times there are things that you think nobody's seeing, but they actually can. A lot of times when we make films in our country, we usually make our screens, our house is so perfect. But in real life, it's not like that. It's not. So I wish that it had that gritty feel. And you find that a lot of films that do well in film festival circuits, like films like Casala, they have that gritty feel. It's either you are doing up or you're doing that gritty feel. Except once you want to show characters in the middle class, it's a lot different. But in all, I like it. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much for the joining, for the very, very detailed and thorough feedback. I think moving forward, for the sake of time, we won't be able to go so granular. But that takes us to our second film of the evening. Now presenting to you a big round of applause, please, for Out of Reach by the Lit Group.
We have a very young population. Our population is estimated conservatively to be 180 million. This is a conservative one. More than 60% of the population is below the age of 30. A lot of them haven't been to school, and they are claiming, that Nigeria has been an oil-producing country, therefore they should sit and do nothing and get housing, healthcare, education free.
You set out from your house in the morning, not knowing where you're going to. You're just having that hope, that belief that when you go out, you'll find something.
Since when I graduated, it's been very frustrating, disappointing. It's not what I expected. It's as good as the government having no plan for us.
Most of the jobs we see on there are all requiring for experiences, The list I've seen so far is 3 to 5 years experience. And for school leavers like us, it's very difficult for us actually be invited for interview because we don't have any experience.
But definitely, if I see a good job to do, I won't hesitate. But definitely, I have to think out of the box.
What next? Yeah, look for a job, get a job, and get something doing.
Is it that easy to get a job?
It's not that easy to get a job. No, if I don't get a job, I can go ahead, get a business of my own. It's fine.
Or have we just become a very lazy, dependent generation? Who is to blame? Would you blame the older generation? Would you blame us young people?
I think I would blame us young people. Young people actually have become very lazy.
As a chemist, I thought I would get a job in an oil company and stuff like that, maybe a pharmaceutical or something, but the jobs were not coming. I kept applying, and it's actually a frustrating experience, and a lot of Nigerian youth are going through the same experience.
What next? Though, generally I'm supposed to say I'm looking at God's hand.
People after service now, you see text message and say what's next, and you see the reality of the dollar going up. You see people losing their jobs in banks, and your friends, everybody losing their jobs every day. Everybody they're pushing entrepreneur, and everybody's saying go and learn something. As a graduate, go and learn. So what am I learning? You get? I won't lie, kind of the dream is dying.
With what's happening, do we still need to go to school? The last time, the time I did, I'm back on this Lagos. Where the motorman, I don't even know the conductor said, I confirm graduate and engineer, mechanical engineer, and I do. I think that's the farm. Since the graduate, if you bring in this school staff, say don't find work, no way. Now I can say, see graduates, and do conductor. People don't come to graduates. So if I go waste my time for school, and then don't get a conductor, now I will end up my life.
The issue of unemployment
and its negative concomitant effects cannot be overemphasized. Mr. President, my dear colleagues, I want to appeal to us that this unemployment is the same all over the country. As it affects the north, it affects the south, the west. And the only denominator is poverty. I believe every government will be talking about unemployment, how to address it. And gradually, the unemployment figures are rising year in, year out. So the summary of what I'm saying is, this motion must emphasize more on skill acquisition more than employment.
Lots of them haven't been to school, and they are claiming, that Nigeria has been an oil-producing country, therefore they should sit and do nothing and get housing, healthcare, education free.
Out of reach by the Live Group, another very compelling but also very different story. So judges, again, over to you, please, for your review.
This one was very dark, but I think, it's a great, thematically, it's a great commentary on what's going on in the country. I like this one a lot. I can see people share production resources, the guitar came back. But I really like this one in the sense that he actually had something to say, even though it was missing some things on the back end. It sagged in the middle, as these things tend to always do. But I liked sometimes the audio didn't work for it as it did, but I really like the way it was cut. It's something about it that the message was like, it came out a bit stronger. I didn't know about the grade though. The stuttering, not fan, but not bad.
Thank you. So well done to the team. Who made this? Okay, great. So yeah, like him, I don't know about your choice of grade and why you chose that, but yeah. But yes, the story moved a bit more. I like that, and I particularly liked your attention to connecting to the audience. The whole Big Brother thing, how to relocate to Canada, those are things that are happening now. That brings your audience into your message, and they're very relevant to, the message of your film. So that was a very good tool or point to use. Other than that, the pace also was slow in the beginning, but I like the fact that you moved the story a bit more. You took us to different places that were relevant to your story. The performances were better in this one. Your pictures were overexposed in some parts, talking about cinematography. Watch out for that. And the framing could have been better in managing your storytelling and what's happening within the picture. Sound was a bit dodgy here and there. That could be better. And yeah, I think that's it. And very good use of graphics as well.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed this. I really, really like it. I like the use of graphics. I like the fact that it was sad at some point, but you guys drive home the message, and then we laughed at some point, and it's so interesting how you guys took us through that journey. I also like, I can't understand the choice of the grading, but I just felt like the execution should have just been a little better. But I kind of guess why you guys use that grading. It's just that execution. The idea, yes, but you have to execute it properly. Then also, I think we talked about one of our classes about the fact that production is a combination of what you can get, what you can borrow, what you can buy, Abby. And I know that you guys, one part of the training is the fact that it will not give you everything and will make you guys work with what you have. And I could see that you guys used your building, you guys used yourselves. I like the fact that you utilized what you had and be able to make what you have. I like the opening. I like the fact that you brought an actual event where your president, shout out to him. decided to give you guys I like the use of that. What I wish, I like the fact that the interviews, of course, was like the voiceover through what was going on. But what I wish, but it's your film. But I feel like maybe you'd have established a source where that sound is coming from. Maybe a radio or something like that. There are people like that you're always on your phone or something, you have some source. So that maybe when he's in the bus or something, we are hearing those same things, And then for your sound, I like the use of sound better here. It wasn't monotonous. Even though it can always be better, but it wasn't monotonous. I'm talking about sound itself. Sound is not in terms of your dialogue. The dialogue, the interviews, of course, it had that noise that but you know how sound is, you can't fix too much. Then the music, the use of music, I felt like nice. I like the fact that you guys want to use, but you can always be better. Pretty much. Well, nice. I like.
Thank you so much. Round of applause again for the judges. So our third and final film in this category for unemployment is The Jump by Carpe Diem. Please, a round of applause.
Mr. Tony is our director.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My name is Aisha, and this is Dr. Tony, the director of our company. First of all, I'm going to tell you congratulations for being a part of the year of the same. We had like a short people and interview for this position. So this is DLD, I want to introduce you to DLD. Hope your gentleness will help you grow and build with what we are doing here. So what we need from you is just a seed investment of 40,000 naira, and it will be a millionaire. And trust me, what this company does for you is to help you become a boss of your own. You don't have to be answering back to anybody. 40,000 naira to be a millionaire to empower other people in your ladder. So it's just like
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mama.
So how did that
It went very well, Mama. In fact, the CEO and other members called me back again. I'm very sure that this time I will get the job. Yes, Mama. Mama, can I call you back? My recharge card is.
Amen. Oh,
Sorry, this is like this person.
I'm also now. Also just did it, told me I must work. I say easy to get work for you.
Bruh, you know she has lived me quite all her life. Knows on that fact. So, how about your interview?
What's the better for you? Now, take care. I don't want to comment. Yeah, now,
See, you alright? You are. Yeah, you don't buy much now.
I'm you say I'm buying a horse, I'm not. Now, you don't feel like I'm trying to watch with one. If this one, then I'm more of just so that the packaging will complete. And still, there's still, I know some of these questions are just all that I don't feel something, just go inside to see, but don't finish up.
Now, wow. Then don't kill yourself. Yeah? Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself.
Don't finish up. Don't finish. I can't hear you. What?
Arcadia, our third and final film in the unemployment category. So once again, over to the judges for a quick review. Over to you.
Yes, just very quickly, sound is the major problem for you guys. It was already processed in the beginning, and I noticed that like none of you guys use microphones, which is the sound seems very from the camera. That's why we can hear the camera sound. I'm sure you've heard it before. A film is 50% visuals and 50% sound. So like the visuals are great and the sound is irritating. You can lose the audience. In all, yeah, the camera work was very shaky. For someone like me that wears glasses, whenever the camera moves, it creates, it can be just a bit more upsetting. On the good side, you guys have better things to work with. The cinematography clearly had a bit more going for it here, even though the camera work could have been on the tripod for certain shots. The time lapsing you tried to do with day to night would have been great if it was actually on something solid. So yeah, and there's a scene I think you guys could have used. There was one corridor that had an inscription on it that said something about grave, or what it was kind of inscribed on the glass, and a guy walked out of the room from the GNLD. And there are times where you guys jump out of scenes, and there are times where you should have stayed, and that would have been great. You should have used that location more. As the guy walked out of the frame, would have seen that inscription in that hall. Except the director wasn't even doing it. But it was a great place. Then again, it sat in the middle. Overall, this one had a lot more promise and it had a lot more going for it, but there were certain things that just kept on tripping it up. It could have been way better. You had opportunities, but it could have been way better. But all in all, I still like it. So well done.
So, like Tolu said, from the beginning of the film up until like half, it was going to be my favorite film because I felt like, the story was better, the plot moved better, we had a character who actually made us empathize with, and feel for, until the sound problems. And then also, while the cinematography was a bit more deliberate and better, there were still some problems here and there. It was about 40% out of focus most of the time. Some of your shots were out of focus. Either the focus would be on the window, and then the main actor would be soft and all of that. So you want to check that when you're framing. And the contrast would have been beautiful for this story and for the mood and what the character was going through and all of that. It was very contrasting, which could have been great. But for the fact that you did not light for it, you didn't compensate, in your lighting, that I want to make a high contrast film, so let me keep my character lit so that we can see the character while, everything else is dark. Like when he was in the living room, all we could see was black and then the white spot of light on the window. What else? There were a few missed points, like he said. That corridor was a perfect example. So sometimes when you go out to shoot, sometimes the location gives you a wonderful accident. Always be on the lookout for things that would add to your story within the location. Also, there were some missed humor points when the other guy walked off, when he said, I think when they had that conversation outside, you should have followed him. That was a good humor point, that could have lighting that we could have connected with, but he went off camera, we missed it, and it went like that. Then keep it simple. Your time-lapse thing, good attempts at trying to do something, extraordinary, but it didn't quite work. So when in doubt, most times I'd advise you to keep it simple, keep your focus on the story, don't try to go about doing stylistics, whatever. A good story never misses it. Connection is key, so always ensure that your first priority is connecting with the audience, and you also had second act problems, meaning you started well, the end went all the way to the bush, and then the ending of it, I don't know if I cared much about it, but you started very well. So that's, and then editing and transitions also, I found them interesting at some point, so well done on that.
Thank you. I was waiting for that poverty die part at the end of the song. I was really waiting. But all in all, I'm not trying not to repeat what has been said. The acting, nice. I kind of liked it. There's a point where you guys had two shots it's not compulsory that you have to use use CUs to bridge your two shots. But when you want to do your two shots, you want to make sure that your background has something interesting that can feed our eyes too, And then for your transition, it's simple. Either you use moving cloud or you have people walk through, or there has to be a change, So when you're working in transitions, you guys had good camera work, but you see that issue of focus. It's a big thing, and you just have to be more careful. And then you see the issue of sound. I was going to check my blood pressure because of sound before, because the sound was bad. So moving on, you can never see. It's paranoia when you are dealing with. Always preview and hear things over and over again. You guys probably get this camera sound because it sounds like camera sound, but always when it comes to sound, that's one of the things that is killing us in the industry. The fact that our sound is not 100%. We are getting the cinematography right. It's just that the sound as well. So pretty much, you had great opportunities with your light. If you guys had been more, like you said, more deliberate with it. That is channel school. It would have been so nice if you guys had just been more deliberate with it. The fact that you can direct the attention of the audience with the use of light and darkness. But pretty much, I enjoyed the first shot of the guys sweating. Oh gosh, love it. But I wish that you had continued through to interest us to the very end. But nice work, by the way. I think it was good. You guys tried.
A round of applause for our judges once more. And with that, we've come to the end of the very first category for the films for unemployment. Please, once again, please give a round of applause to all the groups for their amazing films that they presented here. Alright, as a reminder, please, now is the time to vote. So everybody has your ballot paper, like I mentioned earlier. In your ballot paper, you would tick the film that you most enjoyed. So to recap, the very first one was the Undetected CEO. The next one after that was Out of Reach, and the last one, which we just viewed, was The Jump. So please kindly cast your votes. And while you're doing that, we'll be having a commercial break, a very short commercial break. And in this commercial break, we'll be showing two arts. The very first art was actually an art that students created during their session and how to shoot a professional art with Tolu Ajayi. It's the seminar of art that you mentioned earlier. So please. Short and straight to the point. A round of applause for that, please. Right up after that, we then do the one that's the very first. This was actually the very first stuff that I watched that the teams actually put out. It was during the contest by Simi about the Loving video contest. So please, without further ado, let's bring up that art.
Nobody's so fun. Melanin following you. Your smile is messing with my mind. Lost my phone, make it illegal. Let me love you like I feel for, baby. I'll never forget it now. Baby, just come to my place, oh baby. I might let my life go. Your sister driving me so crazy. Almost he gets me, you. Almost he gets me, you. Oh, hey, baby, your time. Now what you gotta tell? I'm not trying to tell. My brother about you, I don't send you, I don't send you.
Thank you. Round of applause, please, for the shadows. Judges, I won't be asking you to judge those short films. But that takes us to our second category for the evening, which is the category of smear test. As mentioned before, cervical cancer kills approximately apologies, 14,000 women every year in Nigeria. Cervical cancer is also the second biggest killer amongst all the cancers in Nigeria as well. So this category of films speaks to that, it speaks to the issue. And the first film we will be judging and watching this evening is Big Four by Carpe Diem. So a round of applause, please, for the first premiere.
We don't have a system, a healthcare system in Nigeria where health information is everywhere. And you don't turn on the TV, the radio, it's happening, but in very isolated pockets. It is a female cancer. Men don't have a cervix. The cervix is the mouth, the opening of the womb, and that is where the cancer starts from. To be honest, the myths and misconceptions as regards cervical cancer is about the same for most health problems in Nigeria. People are fearful in our environment. There's a lot of cultural belief system from of old. There's the common one that I've heard about arrow. We are battling with a fear culture. You know, so when people fall ill, the first of all we start looking at what's happening in their village. You know. We've brought in our culture into our religions as well, and find that people don't believe that anything can happen. And I think it boils down to our attitude towards life and death. You know, death is seen as a very scary thing in our African culture. It's a bad thing. People don't ever believe that eventually we will die. People don't prepare to die. And I think that forms part of how we accept our health. People don't want to go to the doctor. You know, it's almost like you're looking for trouble. Why do you go look for trouble and find trouble? And it's part of the barriers and the challenges we have when it comes to cancer treatment and diagnosis.
Okay. Cancer, by definition, it's just a group of abnormal cells that have the potential to grow rapidly and invade into other parts of the body. It can occur in any part of the body. If it is found in the breast, we call it breast cancer. If it is found in the cervix, we call it cervical cancer. If it is found in the colon, we call it colon cancer. So it can occur in any part of the body.
So the cervix is the mouth, the opening of the womb, and that is where the cancer starts from. Cervical cancer forms one of the big four. And when we talk about the big four, we're talking about the four cancers that are prevalent in our environment. So you have breast cancer, you have cervical cancer, and you have colon cancer, you have prostate cancer. 99% of people who develop cervical cancer have a trigger, which is the HPV virus, human papilloma virus. On its own, the HPV virus is actually essentially harmless. The body's immune system is able to, flush it out. But if something goes on with your immune system, it persists, and when it persists, it then starts causing changes within the cells. Again, cervical cancer is one of those most treatable, curable cancers if you detect it early. And that's where the prevention, the screening comes in.
Lecture is dedicated to cancer prevention, education, and treatment.
We don't do anything at Lakeshore other than cancer-related work. It's not like a multi-specialty hospital. Everything we do is geared to cancer management.
When we go for outreaches, we go to the community level, we talk to people, try to educate them on the need to talk to girls. Every girl from 9 years old and is sexually active should have a cervical screening test done. Okay, pap smear is a test for cervical screening, and what we do here in Lakeshore is an LPC, a lipid liquid-based cytology, but more or less it's like a pap smear. It's just that it has a higher accuracy in detecting cervical cancer. For the pap smear, we take some samples from the cervix, and like the liquid-based cytology, we also take samples and then we send to the laboratory for analysis, and it comes back and tells us if this patient has an early stage cancer of the cervix or there's something to investigate further on. So it gives an idea, a more accurate idea of what's happening in the cervix. And it's done once in 3 years. Once in 3 years. And like I said, especially for high risk, people who maybe they have a history of cervical cancer in the family, people who engage in sexual activity, people who are multi-gravida. Multi means you've given birth to more than 5 children. That means they should check. And then people who are married to men that have multiple partners, those people are at high risk because of the HPV, the virus, yes, that can be transferred. So for those people, they can do it shorter, maybe once in 2 years, but generally it's done once in 3 years. The procedure doesn't take more than 5 minutes. And like I said, the major thing is to identify the cervix. After identifying the cervix, it's easier to just sweep through and then suspect.
For our screenings, we use a tool called EVA. Stands for Enhanced Visual Assessment. It removes the subjectivity of screening. It's normal now is if someone does a VIA screening, what they see is seen by only them. So there's not really a way to collaborate and see if the woman is truly normal or abnormal or has a cancerous lesion. What this does is it captures pictures of the cervix, and it allows for collaboration and discussion within the clinical personnel on cases that may be questioned. And it also collects information and data about the woman, so there's proper follow-up and referral if the woman is referred for further treatment. Our goals in eliminating cervical cancer, our passion to eliminate cervical cancer was one of the driving forces. Nigeria accounts for 17% of all cervical cancer cases in West Africa. We specifically picked locations where women don't easily have access to care, or low resource settings, and of course large populations. So we picked Fentap, we picked CcHUB, we picked Mushi, we picked Ikorodu and Ikweru in Ogun State, and Lagos Island. Because we know majority of the women are traders, they're market women, and they don't always have access to innovative technology to be implemented with their healthcare. So that's why we chose those locations, because we feel like the greatest impact will be achieved in those regions. Who knows where it's going to go in the future. We might add other programs, but we're still very much invested in the cervical cancer space. And so we're going to continue to grow it out until women don't have to worry about cervical cancer anymore.
A lot of people must have said a number of things to you already, but cancer is not a death sentence. It actually is not a death sentence. The earlier you seek help, the better.
It's not like breast cancer where women can easily see changes in her breast that then says, oh, maybe something is wrong. So we just have to keep creating and talking about it and making sure that women understand that they should get screened, they should talk to their healthcare providers.
Early detection is key. Early detection ensures survival. So please get screened. Do your pap smear, do your mammogram, and live healthy.
Big Four by Carpe Diem. A round of applause again, please, for that very informative piece. Judges, over to you for a review in under 60 seconds, please.
6 seconds per person, right?
Yes, please.
So it's a speed review.
So I really love this one. I really, 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 really loved it. For these reasons, it's very coherent. You knew what you wanted to say, and you went straight to the point. So the message is clear. Your storytelling technique's fantastic. You supported it with graphics and whatever at the right points. The cinematography, by and large, was good, except for sometimes when you're interior. The background was burnt out. But beyond that, by and large, the cinematography was really good. And also watch out for your eyeline when interviewing someone. Sit close to the level of the camera you have set up. So there was one of the interviews where the camera was this level and whoever was interviewing was standing. So the lady was looking at you up, you know, so that sort of broke the connection with the audience. So always watch out for that. And great opening, good sound and use of narration, especially in the beginning. It was a good film. It was a good film.
Okay, again, all very good. But just, I'm not quick. I want to slice. I liked everything mostly about this. My core challenge was it was missing an angle because I was going for a more documentary film. So I didn't get to hear from women. So it seemed like a very promotional piece that was promoting Lakeshore and we didn't have context. So that's the only thing I probably was missing in the interviews because it would have been nice to have had 1 or 2 or 3 people, either people that suffered it or people, because you had signatures on the wall at the end. So you didn't have, wasn't enough of a background context. Then there was the eyeliner issue and lack of insert shots. Basically, small documentary problems. But overall, a very strong story. It's as a documentary, you know, it works really well.
Thank you.
I listened, like I actually listened to everything that was being said, and that's very important for a documentary. It's meant to promote change, and you guys did that. Also, I like the use of comedy, but I think that it would have been better if it was much later in the documentary because it's about something very serious. So at that point in time, putting it in there won't have helped. Maybe if other people talk about their perspective about going for the test, then you can insert that. I like the opening. The opening is always very important in any production because it draws people in. I like the way you opened and then you told us what you were going to do. Really, really nice. Use of graphics, lovely. Then your chest captions, try to wait a bit. Read it 3 times, then you can take it out so that people can read and know who is talking. And then you can show it again and maybe once or twice again so that people just remember who they are speaking with. But in all, love it. Then watch out, jump cuts, one place. When you keep looking at the footage over and over again, sometimes you are too used to it, so you have to have a second eye look at it. But lovely.
Thank you, judges. Again, very detailed, very awesome feedback. So that takes us to our second film for this category, and that is The Smear Fear by the Lit Group.
Every 2 minutes around the world, a woman dies of cervical cancer. Up to 530,000 cases and 275,000 deaths are recorded in developing nations every year. In 2018, 10,403 women died in Nigeria as a result of cervical cancer. In 2019, an estimated 14,943 women in Nigeria are at risk of cervical cancer. This is quite unfortunate, knowing that this type of cancer can be avoided if detected early in a screening process known as pap smear.
A pap smear test is a screening test done to screen for cervical cancer in women.
An alarming number of women are ignorant about the importance of regular pap smear test, and quite a number shun regular cervical screening for reasons ranging from embarrassment of their body to not wanting to request time off work. A major trigger for cervical cancer is the human papilloma virus. A combination of the human papilloma virus and or other factors can trigger abnormal cervical cell growth.
The triggers of cervical cancer is firstly the human papilloma virus. Human papilloma virus is also called HPV virus. It's a sexually transmitted disease and is one of the main triggers of cervical cancer because it affects and it causes abnormal growth in your cervix. The abnormal growth could lead to cervical cancer over a long period of time. So once you're tested for cervical cancer, you could also be tested for the human papilloma virus. Another trigger is smoking. frequent smokers are also liable to have cervical cancer. We all know that smoking is bad, and smokers are liable to die young, and smoking can also cause lung cancer. Smoking can also cause cervical cancer because the chemicals in the smoke can interact with your cervical cells, and it could lead to abnormal growth, which leads to cervical cancer. Another trigger is prolonged use of oral contraceptive pills, because oral contraceptive pills reduces your chances of using a condom, and that also increases the risk of contracting human papillomavirus. Another thing that can trigger cervical cancer is also if you have a family history of cervical cancer. If your mom has had it, if your sister has it, or if your grandmother's had it, because there are chances that you might likely have that cancer, but it's not always 100% correct. So if you have a family history of cervical cancer, you are likely to develop cervical cancer.
For women who are sexually active, once you're sexually active, it's advised that you get screened. You can have screening times varying from 2 to 5 years. So for some women, depending on what their clinical condition is, you can advise the screen after 5 years. But once a woman is sexually active, so you can't put an age on it, because once they're sexually active, they're exposed to HPV, and there are chances that the person can develop cervical cancer. So once a woman is sexually active, it's advised to screen.
The pap smear fear is a thing of the mind.
First of all, you need to know this stage before you plan on doing your pap smear test. You do not do the test during your menstrual cycle because it could affect the result. So you do your pap smear test when you are not menstruating. So you should schedule the test. You should schedule the test with your doctor when you are not in your period. And secondly, you should not have sexual intercourse 2 days before the test because it will affect the result. And also, you should not use condoms or any spermicidal cream, spermicidal soap, vaginal cream. You should not do douching. Douching is washing of the vagina. So you should not even put anything into your vagina at all.
We have 2 methods where you could take a smear or where you can use a brush to collect the cells. So either you do the pap smear or you do the liquid-based cytology.
Your feet will be supported on a stirrup. So after that, your doctor inserts a device, it's called a speculum, into your vagina just to widen the vaginal wall so that you will have access to your cervix. So once your vagina is widened, then he inserts a tool called a spatula or a brush or a combination of both so that he'll be able to collect cell samples from your cervix. So once the cell sample is collected, he puts it in a bottle containing a special liquid to preserve it, and it's sent to the laboratory, and cells are examined for abnormal growth. And also, another thing to note, you might experience slight bleeding from your vagina after the test, and you might experience slight discomfort in your pelvic area. That is normal. So, but after that day, the bleeding should stop. So if the bleeding continues and the discomfort continues after the day of the test, you need to go back to your doctor and complain.
Medical science has proven time and time again that prevention is really the cure.
Yes, you can prevent early exposure. So you have what we call the cervical cancer vaccines, where children between the age 10, from 10 can get a vaccine. So if a child is vaccinated, would not, even if they're exposed, will not come down with cervical cancer. So we have training for the older people that are sexually active, and if they're not sexually active, they should get a vaccine.
But even if you're a lady and you've not had sex and you're 21, you could also get the vaccine. But once you started having sex, I would not encourage you to get the vaccine. So getting the vaccine will actually protect you from contracting HPV virus before you start having sex.
It's important to remember that the smear test is not a cancer test. It is a pre-cancer test. What we are trying to pick up are mild abnormalities on the cervix, which are very treatable before they ever get to cancer. The longer you leave it, the more likely it is that you may have a cancer. Which is why I can't stress enough how important it is to have regular cervical screening.
Apologies for the slight technical error towards the end there. I see why we might have needed a glass of wine to watch that one. So thank you guys. And so over to you, judges. Fair review.
Okay. This one was a bit different. This one had it wasn't. It felt like a news segment. I don't know how the women feel about it, but when you have a male voiceover who doesn't feel passionate, he's just talking. The male voice was a very wrong choice, in my opinion. It was like a newscaster just talking about stuff he didn't care about. So then there was a wildly different tone between the pharmacist and the doctor. She was talking like she was a blogger or something, like, oh, you guys are going to have to do this or do that. Then you have the very somber doctor who was very, very serious. So the tonally, the film, had, it's basic. Then, if you're going to be doing a graphics-based thing, then you have to watch your spelling. You have issues with your spelling there. Then when you use pictures too, I thought that there's more that can be done. I mean, you can have used stock video, as opposed to use stock pictures. It just made the piece less, just felt that there wasn't any motion in it. I didn't want to invest anything into it, speaking as someone watching. So if I had seen people, and I wanted to care, but when these pictures, so essentially for me was it's not really much of a, there's something I feel for the piece essentially. It's something that, I'll definitely click past if I was watching on screen.
An honest review, thank you.
So yeah, I didn't connect with this one as well. I didn't really, it lost me right from the beginning. It felt too preachy, without any sort of connection. Like, I didn't care, like, why do I need to listen to this? There's nothing that drew me in. The opening was weak, too narrative, chatty. It was, the voiceover person was like, just fine voice, just talking and, reading the stuff. So it didn't hit me, I didn't listen, it didn't connect. Then also watch out for your graphics that you use. At the point when the doctor lady was talking about contraceptives causing HPVs, particularly taking of pills, prolonged using of pills. The picture you had up there was showing condoms, the IUD, and then different types of pills. That's misinforming. If you're making a documentary, you have to be very factual. Showing me the IUD there is telling me that the IUD can cause the HPV, which is wrong information. So if she was saying taking prolonged use of pills, it is your job as a filmmaker to ensure that you have the correct picture of the pills there instead of something else. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll just, I'm trying to repeat what I said before. The season frames, it happens sometimes, maybe exports, maybe the format. So it's always best that you preview what you've done before you start exhibiting any of your works. It's a lot better because anything can happen. And like I always say, paranoia sometimes pays off. So always check things over and over again to be sure that it's all in order. Then your transitions from the text back to the interviews with the interviewees, the dissolve was too long sometimes. Also, the voiceover said, use I, use the pronoun I, and it's a man saying I. So a lot of times when it comes to writing your voiceovers too, from what perspective, who is saying what, and then you follow it through to the end. It's so important. Motion pictures are always a lot better, and I always say that everything looks good in slow-mo. But the truth is that it's always important that, I know still pictures, I've seen documentary that it works, but it has to work well. But if you have the option of using motion pictures, it's always a lot better. It says the smear fear. So I thought you were going to be more specific, addressing the fear that women have in going, like that one that they said about something spiritual in the previous document. So I thought that was the direction. So the theme and the title did not match. So it's not like it didn't hit the nail on the head. I thought we were just going to go straight, introduce briefly, and then state out our fears, and then allay them by saying that we still did the best choice to do. But no, nice try.
Thank you. Very constructive feedback. Please round of applause for the judges. Our third and final film this evening from this category is called Do You Want Some Pap by For Film Only.
Before today, have you heard about the first movie?
No.
No.
No. Yes.
No.
No. No. Yes.
No.
I don't even know. I'm not sure if I know anything about it.
The word PAP means perpendicular staining. It's a test that is used to detect cervical cancer.
It's actually a test that is run usually for women in reproductive age or even in their early years, or people who have been sexually active from a very young age. This test is run so as to detect early stages of cervical cancer.
Cervical cancer is one of the leading umbilical issues among women of reproductive age. In fact, it's the commonest cancer in developing countries.
Cervical cancer is actually a very one of the commonest, if not one of the commonest, second to breast cancer in this part of the world, especially in the developing countries. Although in the developed countries they have been able to deal with based on the fact that they have emphasized on the pathology and then they've been able to incorporate it into their health system.
We advise all our women, especially at women 20, to go for this pap-smear test. It's a form of an explorative surgery technique used in detecting cervical cancer, in which we take a smear from the cervix or from the posterior funnel of the vagina, and then take to the lab, we put on the smear and stain.
The procedure is very simple. Provided the patient is not in the stress, it's very, very simple.
Cervical cancer has so many predisposing factors. The most common one is infection caused by human papillomavirus. Now, other predisposing factors include smoking, immunosuppression, chronic use of steroids, chemotherapy.
Using antiseptic soap around the genital parts, and taking birth control pills for more than 5 years. You are actually, even if that person stops taking that birth control, he's still at high risk of getting cervical cancer.
Alcohol intake is also a risk factor. There are other things that can actually trigger cancer.
The early phase of the cancer usually takes about 10 years. So patients are usually asymptomatic for a very long time. And without this screening, we will not detect as early as possible that these patients are at risk of having cancer.
What is very important to note is that cervical cancer can be asymptomatic for 10 to 20 years. There will be no changes. A woman can actually think she's very alright and not demonstrate any clinical symptoms for 10 to 20 years.
The symptoms of cervical cancer include intermenstrual bleeding. The commonest is postcoital bleeding. Then someone can have intermenstrual bleeding and postmenopausal bleeding. Pain is usually not a common feature in cervical cancer.
There are ways to prevent things like this, and number one, in women, is not having multiple sexual partners. That's having to screen your sexual partner to ensure that he is not a carrier of the human papillomavirus. Secondly, the use of barrier methods like condoms can also be advised in cases like this to prevent human papillomavirus, because once you make use of a latex condom, it actually prevents the spread of its immunity.
I want to encourage women to visit nearby hospital and say, okay, I want to have a personal test done. Once you are sexually active, even parents, once you have a child that is sexually active, take such a child for pap smear screening.
If you are 16 years and above, sexually active, you should have a pap smear test done, and you should also ensure that this test is done every 2 to 5 years, because ideally there can be changes from time to time. So when we talk about a change in 10 years, with a regular pap smear test for about 2 to 5 years, one can detect early stages of cancer.
So people will say, if I go, what if I don't have? I'll just waste my money. It's not a waste of money for you to step to an hospital or a diagnosis center and say, I want to run the pap smear. I just want to check myself that I'm free for cervical cancer.
It's not something we should be afraid of. It's just like going to the lab. I want to do a pregnancy test.
The limiting factor, usually that we experience amongst our women is fear. Some people think it's painful. It is a painless procedure. It's very comfortable, and the test is not expensive.
The emphasis there is prevention. The emphasis is prevention and protection. And it is safe prevention is better. So we know that you need to screen yourself regularly. How do you screen yourself?
Pap smear test can be done at a highly subsidized rate in many laboratory or clinics, or even free with some NGOs. There are so many NGOs that take on the initiative to ensure that these tests are available for women. So I believe that ladies can prevail on that information, make use of it to their advantage, and also keep themselves healthy with that. Because for pap smear test and then its relationship to preventing cervical cancer, the importance cannot be overemphasized.
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Then,
yes, it's something I would like to go for, and I will also urge all the young ladies, even married women, to actually go for the test.
A big round of applause, please. Do you want from up? The third and last film from the category of smear tests. Judges, your thoughts, please. Okay. Okay, so I'm wondering where to start from. So first of all, whose film is this? Can I see you? Yeah, awesome, great, wonderful, well done. So first of all, I'll say bad choice of advocates or interviewees. All of them. They didn't connect, yeah, I didn't want to listen to them. Secondly, why do I want to listen to men talking about my vagina? Do you get, like, I don't understand. Yeah, you should have looked for female doctors, you know, more of them, or people who sounded more knowledgeable or who looked more confident. It's also casting. In as much as it's not drama, you should also cast your interviewees with care. You know, there should be people that we want to watch, we want to listen to, you know, we connect with. So for them, I didn't connect with them, I didn't really care for any of them. The sound was quite bad. And then the post-production treatment of the sound as well. I think you over-treated it, so there was all that metallic crackling thing in the background. Then your framing of the shots, especially in the beginning and at the end, the people on the streets, the shots were too tight. Like, it felt like I was looking into their noses. I don't know why you chose such tight shots. Then your interviewees as well, your framing of them was just off. It wasn't consistent. You know, there was no pattern to it, like you didn't design your film. Some of them, the person was in the center looking into the camera, another person was on the left frame looking to the left, you know, so there was no consistency there. You need to watch out for that. And
I wonder why your choice of using a wide angle lens to shoot the interviews, it didn't work. So you might want to also check that when making your lens choices and shooting choices. So that's it from me, really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. For me, I like the intro when you jumped in. I'm not talking about the cinematography. I like the fact that you actually spoke to people on the street. Something that I was missing in another one I've seen. And I like the fact that you went back out there at the end to ask, because you asked, part, one part when they said, yes, I wish I had done more. But the cinematography, unfortunately, let the film down in many places. Again, there wasn't a thought to it. You could have done wide, you could have done long, but there wasn't a specific thing you wanted to do with the cinematography to get people to buy into the message. There's something that when you're given these things to do, the objective is not to finish the assignment. The objective is to create a desire for people to create advocates or people to be interested in this. Because let's be real, to a man, cervical cancer can be something you don't know or you don't care about. But the objective of it is also to create a connection with the audience. I didn't feel that. Like as you said, subject to stability. So many of those doctors, there are too many doctors, and those guys did not look right. That's also, they killed the message. Like, no woman would want to be in pain. I'm not saying no woman. Specifically, people, it's a touchy subject too, so it's something you should always be like, should care about. Yeah, highlights, essentially that. So, yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very much. And third review.
I'd like to say that I like the fact that at the end you gave us contact information of how we can actually reach out to centers where women can get this kind of test. I think it's very important because that's what documentaries are for. The fact that people can watch it and take action. So thanks for that. There's a reason why when you see your music videos, you see those girls. It's not because the music is not nice, it's the fact that people, it's so important. It's something called eye candy. People need to be able to want to watch, And again, these people that are talking about things that have to do with women, so it's really sensitive. So it's always best sometimes that you have, of course, a woman to talk, especially when it comes to something like cervical cancer. Your picture, some of the inserts you use, the picture pixelated. So it's important that you take pictures that are high res a lot of times. If you don't have, except it's absolutely necessary, or you place two pictures together and blur the background, and there's a way you can do it. I know you guys don't know how to do it. It's very, very important. Then your chest caption, you put Mrs. A lot of times I always avoid the tags Mrs. I rather their first and their second name, or if it's a general, like someone in the army, or if it's a medical doctor, you put their title in front, but avoid things like Mrs. and all of that. The sound is always a big issue. The opening, I kind of get the idea, you want it to just be in our faces, but you could have framed it a lot better. And then, when you're doing your documents, your interviews, and you know that your environment is not nice, just try to shoot in depth, and use a photo that blurs everything, so nobody sees anything. Then also, some of the objects where, I think the people interviewed were sweating, those kinds of things can be, it's just tissue, or handkerchief or powder. You have to avoid those kinds of things. I know that sometimes in the rush of work, we just sometimes forget these details, but it's so important. But in all, it's a nice attempt.
Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for these judges. Harsh, perhaps, but I think full of love and coming from a fantastic place. So I think it's time to just give the fellows a chance to just breathe. I think we'll take a little break here before our third and final category.
Yes, and for this break, we would have two very quick ads. The very first one is the Chapman commercial that is also shot during Tolu's class. And then the second one right after that is the detective scene, which they shot during their lightning classes. So for the next, say, 60 to 120 seconds, please enjoy this commercial break. Thank you.
after the victory, what do you take to satisfy your thirst? The champion deserves a sizzling, tasty, refreshing drink. The feed celebrates your victory. You work hard for it. You deserve a smooth Chapman for champion.
Drop it back.
Why was I there? You can't have this call. My business is congratulations.
Flesh of him or kill him. See, we have the witnesses and we have video clips. So, yes, we have video clips.
I hope you should give us
Madam, we are not here to. You will not be jailed.
A round of applause, please. Two awesome commercials, right? Very cool. So I hope this is showing you a little breadth of what these fellows can actually do. So that takes us very quickly to our third and final category. I hope you're remembering to keep voting on all the films as well for your favorite one in each category. So our last one is child abuse. And we will be taking 2 films in this category. And the first is called The Child Advocate by For Film Only. Please enjoy.
Hello, this is the Liberty Organization. This is today. How may I help you? Hello? 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 Who is speaking? Who is speaking, please? Ifunaya, what do you want me to do for you? Yes. Our organization is responsible for helping abused children. Ifunaya, is there a problem you want us to help you with? Ifunaya, give me your address so we can come help you right away. Ifunaya, if you can. calling for Naya. How you do? If Naya give me address, if you don't give me address, nothing we have to do. Please. Please.
This is going to be a long process, student. We'll start today. We'll have to contact the police today, and they'll have to trace the number to the address.
But we don't know how long it will take.
Tunde, we have no choice.
Oh, Mama, have fun. Let's for your phone. Why the practice of the sensitive doctor?
The line.
Hmm?
Can you help me with
Yeah, I'm giving you this information because I feel you should know. These girls are trying to ruin your husband. I'm in total bankruptcy. Yeah, I'm home. But if your husband is not around, I don't have no problem at all. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Bye. Tunde, I know nothing about this.
Are you sure about this? But you didn't follow my instructions. I asked you not to make any contact whatsoever with that woman. I don't want you guys running into this job with your emotions. Rules are meant to be obeyed. This is the first time you're not following my instructions. Second, it's not the third time.
I'm sorry.
Sorry doesn't cut it. When are you going to sue? You will be suspended. I'll follow this up. For the girl.
Hey, Tones. What's up?
Hey, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm okay. She's in, by the way. They brought her in a few minutes ago. For the cat got her some food. For, I think she's pregnant.
Pregnant?
Yes. Mommy, I miss you.
Thanks, I'll call you later.
See, you may not believe me, but I wanted to do my sister to take care of you like her daughter. But she won't listen to me. Now, this is it. It's just this basic problem. I don't even know what to do. How can you be of help, please?
I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing that we can do. You know, it's a criminal case and it's with the police already. I suggest you get everything.
We know that our brother is actually a lawyer. He's helping her get a bill. But really, I really like Ify. She's such a sweet girl. I mean, like John, he's always crying out for him. I want Ify, I want Ify. Every little time. They don't sleep without Ify. I don't know what to do.
Oh, I see. And it looks sad. John, you want to see it here, right?
I find this disgusting. How old did you say the boy is?
8 years old, ma'am.
8 years old. And being sexually abused by the maid. Still being sexually abused by his father. Damn. What a world we live in. See, Tunde,
of applause, please. The child advocate for film only. At this point, we're going to ask the judges for their quick reviews. Over to you, please.
So, this must have been a hard film to make because I see that you did a lot of work. It was sort of technical because you had so many things going on. So on that, I'll say well done, first of all. And then for your story, there was a beginning, clear beginning, middle, and end. Some sort of structure there, which was nice as well. Watch out for your continuity, placement of props. At a point, the phone was up, and then later it was down. Continuity of the location, the office space changed. Where we saw him, we don't understand why. In the beginning, it was somewhere else. Then the other time, it was a red room. I didn't understand that. Confused me a bit. Then the confusing flashback mixed with the present. He chose to represent his flashbacks with the black and white. That's the main guy. And then at a point we saw footage of the other boy being raped, of which somehow I assumed it was him because you also had it in black and white. So I wasn't now looking to see if it was the same boy or not. I just automatically assumed it was him. And then I kept wondering, okay, what happened there until we clarified it at the end. So watch out for conflicting information. And as regards the story for the guy, I wondered why, if he was a professional working in this field, and this is what he does every day in this agency, why is he particularly emotional and distraught by this one case? You know, what was it about it? It's slightly off professionally because this is what they do every day. So yes, I see that he went to the flashback to show that he was also abused, but this could be a motive for him working in that space, not for him to feel so much about this one situation. And then also, don't be afraid of silence. The music did not need to be there from beginning all the way till the end. That's your background music. There were points at which you were taking it out and allowed us to focus on what was happening in the scene without the music going through the background. It was great music, and I understand why you did that, but try to run away from doing that. And your lip sync was off at the beginning and at some points. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you. You ready?
All right. I think that the scene that really called out to me was that black and white scene, and I had to turn away because. So, first of all, there's some things I just need to bring out. First, nice work. I also like the scene where the young boy was running away. I like a bit of what you guys did there. But your storyline, I feel like someone who is trying to be like a person, like a sort of counselor should have, because of their experience, when you are talking to a victim, you have to exercise some restraint and just be the one who is in control of the conversation. And I did see that. I remember that the first class that we had, I said acting is hard, so you know now. Alright, but in all, it was a good attempt. Also, the plan that the female character had, I feel like even OLX tells you that if you guys want to do anything, you want to make any transaction, you can't put so much personal information. So you are not going to give that kind of personal information out. You just call a woman randomly and say your husband, and then the number will come out. I mean, it's not. And then what really caught me is the fact that the housemaid is abusing the child. Yeah, the housemaid is abusing the child, and the father of the house is abusing the housemaid. See that plot line? I feel like you could have milked the story. That is your story. If you had just made it shorter and you made that the focus of your story. But we always learn every time. So that's pretty much, because that is so strong. You see that line that, I don't know the name of the character, so I'll say Ngozi. That line that Ngozi said is so strong because that shows how that holds the cycle of abuse, you know. So, and then yes, music, silence is also music in a way. When you decide to hold music and you play it too much, but I like the music, I like the sound, I like the music. Then the phone call, it provides public effect in it, you know, and then you need to balance the sound, so pretty much. much. Then there was a deep to right. Is it? I'm sure. I hope it's. Is it deliberate? It's not. So please, it's either your rendering or the system. So like I always say, paranoia. Go through things over and over again to be sure.
Thank you. Thank you. The third and last review, please.
Very quick. I really like this story. It was like, at some point in time, I'm going to throw away all the technical issues, which are repeating themselves, based on the fact that this is a production that's budget and you guys are learning. This is actually a story I'd like to see for, if you guys can work out all the obvious story, who said, he said, I didn't know the characters, but I'm invested in the idea of an advocate that forgets his professionalism over an issue. It may not necessarily be this scenario, but I like the story idea. I think this one has legs. You can do something with it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please. This brings us to our last movie of the night, and that's Trigger by the Lit Group. Please, a round of applause for the Lit Group.
Every night can be a wedding night. Any night can be a wedding night. Okay? Alright? I love you too. So sorry. Maybe if I could attempt to...
Okay, baby, my hope that I expect you to want me the same way I want you. I'm so sorry to put you through all this.
It's fine,
Sorry.
It's fine. No one should ever have been through what you went through. Just listen. I understand. But listen, I need you to trust me.
Okay.
Promise me you trust me. Okay? I love you.
I love you too. Want some coffee? How do you like this coffee again?
I like my coffee black. It's like a big girl.
Zena ina kike? Zena ina kike? Wannan karamin yar banza.
Oge no Chuko. God provides my support system. These few years with you has been the best in my whole childhood life. Husband of my youth, even for a day. I love you deeply and truly. Thank you for rescuing me. Thank you for trying to fix me. I would have been long gone if not for you. These memories with you would live within me forever. But then, I cannot do this to the one whom I love. I am born for pain. Recall when you wanted to know why I have so many piercings. Remember my answer? Pain is all I know. Reason I have to live again. I have no love to give, let alone the one that you deserve. I am too violated. I promise to trust you. Please, promise me you won't look for me. With all my love, Ina. Pain. Pain is all I know.
How many people have opinions? Yeah. This is amazing. Yeah. Judges, do you want to go?
Yeah, this has to seem like same films. My first comment is like, this film seems technically very different from all the things I've seen. So it's pretty, it's polished in many ways, technically, as a result, more than some of the things I've seen. I quite like it, and when I talk about liking it, it's in a subset of a different kind of film where it's kind of film you catch on cable, Nigerian cable TV. So it has that vibe of something you might see on iRock or Africa Magic, So it's actually made for that. Now there's story issues, things that don't quite connect, but it's within a short space of time. I think it's done quite a lot. One thing I'm not sure about is whether or not it's an advocacy film, which is what I thought it was. This is more entertainment than advocacy. It doesn't really strike that advocacy balance. It shows the results of it, but it shows the results of it in a different way. But it's pretty well put together. I feel like within the constraints of what you guys have done. Yeah, that's my own thoughts.
So, I think in the context of what is available, what you have here, your limitations and everything, I think this is an amazing attempt. It's an amazing film. I felt like saying I'm proud of the film, but I'd never met you, and I wasn't part of the scripting process, but it connected, it was clear, it was coherent. Your storytelling techniques, it felt like we spent more time doing this, like a filmmaker who had been making films for a while, so it really worked. It's hard for me to believe that this came out of this. So well done, love, well done. I couldn't jot down anything else but to say that the sex makeup scene was too long. But beyond for no reason at all. I guess the director was enjoying herself too much. But aside from that, I think that it worked. It worked very well. Well done. Keep it up.
Coming from Top that was amazing.
Yes, I agree. Films make you, when you watch films, you want to be entertained, but when the film makes you feel something, that's special. I really felt something. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
had a creative opportunity that I feel like you didn't utilize. This is it. I wish that you had shot that the frames from the previous life, the younger you and the older you had shot specifically for it to match, so that the transitions will be almost invisible, so that each time you keep going back and forth, you get us. Just that. But really good work. Really good work. I wish you just take our notes and then just reward it. Or you can shoot it, but you really have to work. I'm proud. I'm happy. I like the acting. Thank you.
Thank you. And that last film brings us to the end of all the films premiering on the night. Like the lovely ushers is doing right now, kindly complete your votes and pass them on. The ballot box is going to the back to be counted. It's also important to note the judges. So just to provide some more information of what the structure of the votes and the awards that we want tonight would be like. So the audience would be voting for 3 categories. So each category that we have witnessed tonight, unemployment, is first, and this last one we just witnessed, which was for child abuse. The votes that have been casted by the audience would be counted, and the audience would decide which group and which film wins each category, right? And then just like the best picture at the Oscars, the judges would decide the top film of the night. So judges, please take some time to together put your votes and your thoughts together to decide the best film for the night. Can we get some music in the background? Yes.
Thank you everyone for your patience. So at this time, we would like to award the certificates of all the fellows graduating from the CcHUB Media Fellowship. I would like to call on Ngozi and Tone to come up and present their certificates.
Round of applause for them, please, as they come forward. Thank you.
For the fellows, please kindly come forward when I announce your name. So our first fellow for tonight is Onome Egba. Round of applause.
Onome Egba, please come forward.
Onome is a self-taught filmmaker, screenwriter, director, animator, and visual effects artist.
Onome is picture shy. Next.
And next fellow is Temitope Aluko. A round of applause. Temitope has experience in developing content for media and video directing.
You get a picture? Temitope, can we get a picture, please? Thank you.
Lovely. Round of applause, please. Next, we would like to call on Tomiwa Ogunika. Apologies for my pronunciation. Round of applause, please, for Tomiwa. Akin Tomiwa is a storyteller with a background in science.
Interesting.
We'd like to call on Ayomiku Shome.
Ayomiku Shome. A round of applause for Ayomiku, please. All right, so next up we have Afolabi Israel. Round of applause for Israel. Thank you. Next up, Kolakemi O. Phillips. Round of applause for Kolakemi Phillips. Thank you, Kolakemi. Next up, we have Fikayo Shoreti. Thank you. Next up, we have Kevin Asaju. Round of applause for Kevin. And last but not least, we have Love Nebo. A round of applause for our student boys. Thank you so much. Next up, for the next couple of minutes, we can get to know one another in the crowd while we collate the results. And about 120 to 180 seconds, we'll be announcing the awards of the night. Thank you very much. Please remember that right after we announce the winners, there's also served dinner style upstairs, so please don't leave before you have dinner, please. Thank you.
The tally is almost in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your patience. We will shortly announce winners for both the audience vote as well as best narrative film from the judges. So we just ask again for a couple more minutes while we finalize the vote counting. Thank you. Update. We do have the results from the judges, although we have to wait a little bit longer before we announce them. I just want to keep you all updated. So did everyone enjoy those films? Yeah? Did everyone have a favorite? You don't have to say it, just raise your hand if you did. Yeah? Okay, thank you guys so much for your patience. We really appreciate it. I think it's time for a group photo actually with the fellows. If I can ask all the fellows to please rise up and come forward. And we'll do a group photo now. Come forward, guys. You all look lovely tonight. Time to show off the certificate. After 3 hard, long A round of applause, please, guys. The 2019 Media Fellowship Cohort. You're looking at the faces of some future awesome stars. Thank you guys. Stay standing, please. Stay standing. I'd like to call on the judges. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. Music, can we get music down a little bit, please? Tolu. Thank you. And now, to the time we've been waiting for. After an amazing swap, the votes are in and it's time to announce. Excited? Anybody excited? Awesome. So to start with, we're going to be announcing the winners of each category based on the votes by the audience. So the guys that you voted for, the winners for each category, would announce that. Like I said earlier, afterwards, Tope Oshin would do us the privilege of then announcing the best films in 2 categories. The best film in the documentary category, which was the second category for the SMART test, and then the best film in the narrative category. Drum rolls, please. For the unemployment category, the winner by the audience was Out of Reach. A round of applause, please. So please, Out of Reach, forward. And then please, Tolu, come take a picture with them. Come forward, please. You're just shaking them and taking the picture. You can. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Tolu. For the next category, So that group was the CIT group, by the way. For the next category, for the smartest, which is also our documentary category, after much deliberation by the audience, drum rolls please. And the film that wins the pop smear category is The Big Four by Carpe Diem. A round of applause for them, please. Dr. Can you please come and give them an handshake? Thank you. A round of applause, please don't stop the applause. The Big Four. Alright, photo ops. Then the group photo, please, with everyone software, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And last but not least, the third category, on the lights. Once again, drum rolls please. And for the category of the house elf child abuse, the movie that won on the night is The Trigger. The light road. A round of applause for them, please. Thank you. A round of applause for them as they come forward, please. Handshakes and a group photograph. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. And that brings us to the end of the votes by the audience. And now to the big one of the night. Please join me to welcome Tope Oshin as she announces the winners on the living narrative category and also the documentary category. A round of applause for her, please. Thank you.
Hello? Great. So, a big well done to everybody here, and congratulations, and well done again for such great work. Like I said, I was saying to Adeola, she was making comments, and I said, you don't learn how to make a film in 1 month, you don't learn it in 3 months, you don't learn it in 6 months. It's a continuous process. I've had about 22 years in the film industry, and I'm still learning. So it's a continuous, learning curve. So don't give up, keep on going strong. Your last film is your best film, and try to make your next one better than the next one. So we decided to split the awards into 2 different categories because you made 2 different types of films. You made your narrative films, are there, that's your drama, and then for the ones that made the documentary. So we'll be announcing winners for the best documentary film and the best narrative film. So I'll start with the best documentary. After much deliberation.
Roseberry. Thank you.
The winner for the best documentary film is The Big Four.
Woo! Round of applause for them, please. The Big Four. The handshake and the photograph.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Just a group photograph. A group photograph. Just a group photograph. Thank you. Thank you so much. The Big Four. A round of applause for the team once more.
And the best narrative film for tonight is...
Drum roll, drum roll.
Trigger!
So please, Ngozi and Tope, can you please present the awards to the team?
Trigger, come out now.
Please let us present the awards to them.
Well done to Trigger, well done.
So the team that won the best documentary, you'll get your plaques afterwards. So please, Ngozi, Wendy, and Tope, thank you. And friends of the team. Yes, Gigi as well. Can we all smile for camera? Everybody say trigger. Awesome. Thank you all so much. Congratulations to all the team and congratulations to all the fellows for the amazing work they've done over the past 5 months. Please, like I mentioned earlier, we have dinner set up upstairs. We're waiting for that dinner. But just before that, we'd like to show appreciation to the judges on the night. So please join me as I bring forward Abiodun Tenoko, our finance director at CcHUB, to present portraits to the judges for their amazing work on the night. A round of applause for Mr. Tenoko. So the portraits are coming forward. Alright, so our very first judge for the night, Mr. Tolu Ajayi. Can you please come forward, please? A round of applause for Mr. Tolu. Yes, one day, and can you turn it and so we can take pictures with it? Can you turn it around? Awesome. Thank you so much. A round of applause for Tolu Ajayi once more. And next up, please welcome with me Tope Oshi. A round of applause. Give the faces to the camera. Thank you. And last but not least, Diola. A round of applause for Diola. Thank you all so much. Thank you, everyone. And now for the closing remarks, please join me to invite Ngozi Okonse, the project director, to come and give the vote of thanks. A round of applause for Ngozi as she comes forward.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Catherine, actually. Thank you, our MCs. I think we should give them a round of applause. I think they've done quite well today. They really livened up the audience. I just want to say that this is the first Media Fellowship program that we've ever done, and I'm just so proud of the success. I'm so proud of the students. I'm proud of what you've done. Like, I've seen you from the beginning stage. I remember, Kevin, you wouldn't even act before. You were so shy, so quiet. Now, we're seeing you in movies. You're acting, you're laughing, you're doing many things. I just feel like all of you have grown. Like, for example, Love. She was just an actress. Is that correct? When you came in, you thought you were just an actress. Now, you're a madame actress, director, writer, producer, everything. So I think all of you will be able to really do a lot with what you've learned. I hope you have really taken it in, and you'll be able to apply it in the future, because I have confidence in all of you that you will all become directors. Actress, doesn't matter. Cameraman, doesn't matter. Scriptwriter, doesn't matter. You guys all have the skills, and I think that you will really go far. Yeah? So thank you very much, guys. Can we please give them a round of applause? Let me also thank the judges for coming, for deliberating. Thank you so much, by the way, for also coming. And I'd really like to thank you, Tolu. Not only did you come today, you also came to teach the students. They've really learned a lot from you. They always speak about you. They speak well about you. I'm just, from the bottom of my heart, really thank you. Words cannot explain how thankful I am that you have coming. You came actually a few times, not just once to facilitate. So I just want to, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. Yeah. So everyone as well, thank you for coming. I'm sure you're all very hungry by now. Are you? Is that a no? I see everyone's laughing. I think you are. So after this, we're going to quickly go up and have our dinner, and that's all. I look forward to the next Media Fellowship. Hopefully we'll start it this year, and it'll be bigger and better than this one, although this one was fantastic. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all so much. Once again, thanks for agreeing to come tonight, and we hope you enjoyed yourself. From myself and Catherine, thank you, and please have a lovely dinner. Thank you.